Hey guys, it's Max Convexity here. Hope everyone's having a wonderful evening. All right, let's look over here at the QQQY. So, what do we have here? All right, well, this was not great. These guys sold 161 options, and they sold them for 135, but they had to buy them back for 253. Which is bad. But then they sold some different options also for these were 2-day options, but then they sold some different options also for Tuesday. They rolled the strike down. They got 80 well, and they got $100 for these. All right, so look at the three of these. So NDX. Yeah, they bought the options. They bought the 160 back for 253, and those options were actually expired on Tuesday, 17/9/20. I just wanted to show you guys I got it right. And then they rolled down, and then they sold for $105, or well, actually somewhere between 105 and 96, probably like 98 or something. In fact, I can tell you exactly what. So I've already done the math. 100.65. They sold the 17,740 for 165. So they had to buy these back for 253. All right. Well, that's not good. That's a $1.8 million loss, and that takes us negative 6 cents on the month. Although if we can win on Tuesday, or be profitable on Tuesday, I should say, we'll be back to 4 cents positive on the month. It's been a roller coaster for sure. All right, JEPY. These guys, let's see what these guys. All right, so JEPY, these guys trade SPX options, and they actually sold options for today. Oh my gosh. All right, I told somebody in the comments that they covered these for zero. Because I saw that they paid $253 for these, and then I saw expired, and for a second I thought that meant these were zero, but no, it just means they expired the money. The only reason they gave us a quote on these, and I've just figured this out this month, is because these didn't expire. That's just the price they paid. I don't know why they don't just give us the price they settled at. I don't know why it just doesn't say buy to close then whatever the price is instead of expired. But I just used the in the money amount. But anyway, so yeah, and the in the money amount was like 265. So you know, we didn't have to pay quite that much for them, thank goodness. That would have been if they were one-day options, we would have had to pay that much for them since they still had some time. Anyway, so on these right here, yeah, and I did apologize to that commenter. I need to figure out who that was, but my bad on that. I told 2 commenters that. Oh my goodness. All right, so they sold, but they sold options for Tuesday. So let's just go see what they did. All right, they sold 258 at the 50 or the 5,015 level, and they got $20, $20.44. We'll do the profit boxes on Sunday night. I was just here to show how we did today. So these guys are actually, if they make money on Tuesday, they'll be back to even on the month, but right now they're negative 7 cents. Their estimate's starting to slip a little too, their intrinsic estimate, which I don't know why it should be. There you go. That's why. All right, it's not starting to slip. It's the 62 cents. We've actually had some excess volatility this month with these 2 numbers that came out. In the past couple of weeks. One was on the 31st, I guess. It was on the first day of the month, and that made premiums really high. I guess that was Jay Powell speaking. All right, so IWMY, how do we finish out here? Well, here's IWMY. Either they did not update the spreadsheet or they didn't do a trade because they still have this trade in here, and I already have this trade. Or maybe they just let it roll for the next, for Tuesday. Right now, I'm showing 42 points in the money, and this shows it as a loss, even though it isn't, because it hasn't settled. It's a 2-day option. I don't have any way to tell my spreadsheet it's a 2-day option. I don't have the expiration built into it. I just have to do that manually. So I should probably switch that back to 0. I'm just going to leave it like this. You guys know what it means. It'd be, this is how much it'd be down if it closed where it is now. Let's take a look at this Russell chart. Yeah, it just fell out of bed right on the close today. Fell out of bed on the close. All 3 of them did. All 3 of them did. And TLT didn't look. TLT is still in the valley of death if you're following TRES. I can't imagine very many people have shares of TRES. It's so new. It's a tiny fund. Even people like me that are ardent option fans don't have any idea. I mean, they're doing some kind of straddle strangle swap, and it's a cool trade, and I've heard about it, but I don't know how they're going to turn this into a positive expectancy. I don't see the genius behind it yet. It sure would have been nice if they would have taken some off the table when it was up here. I know it's hindsight, or even when it was up here, they had a lot of money. You know, I guess it still had a long time till expiration, and I don't know. I guess I'll figure it out. I just need to see a couple of more weeks of trades to try to figure out what their program is as far as the strategy goes. All right, let's look here at this tracking error. All right, so let's start here with the S&P complex. I put all of these guys in the green because they all kicked ass. Look at that. S&P was down 0.5%, 48 bips. All of them were positive, or were outperformed the index, let's just say. And SPY was actually positive, but all of them did a great job. JEPI, JEPY, that's what you want to see. All right, on the NASDAQ, index was down a little bit more. It was down 0.9 of a point. Best performing ones were JEPQ and QQQI, but they all outperformed the index, with the exception of FEPI. Oh no, FEPI outperformed also. All right, so now RYLD, IWMY, and PAPI. They all outperformed and did fine. Good job, guys. Over there in the bonds were down pretty good today. All of these outperformed, just got about half the downside, a little bit more, but that's about what you'd expect. All right, we can handle that. SVOL, so short volatility was, the short volatility benchmark was up 0.5% almost, and SVOL itself was up about 0.25%, so that's about what we'd expect. That is about what we would expect. Okay, let's look at the 1 day on the Tesla. So Tesla outperformed, NVIDIA outperformed, Coney, underperformed, but my goodness, it was still up 1%, but holy cow. I guess that's the result of earnings. I guess it was up more than that earlier. I think it settled back down. Wait. Yeah, well, there's Coney, but I also want to check out Coinbase. Yeah, the Coinbase chart just sold off right into the close also. It was up a lot more than it finished up. All right, well, anyway, at least Coney being up 1%'s not bad. All right, but it left a lot on the table, for sure. It's just 1 day, though. OARC outperformed. AMSI was in line. APOI outperformed. AMD outperformed. TSLP outperformed. So TSLP and TSLY both outperformed. TSLY outperformed better, more. Was relatively stronger. TSLY was up 44 bips, whereas TSLP was only up 8 basis points. Just 1 day, though. MRNY had a good day, and it outperformed. MSFO outperformed. PP outperformed. FBY looks really good. Meta got killed today, down more than 2%. FBY was not even down 1%. That's the way that buffer's supposed to work. Nice job, FBY. DISO outperformed slightly. Infly looks really good. Infly was a big outperformer. Sky was outperformed. Not as much as Infly, though, for sure. GUI outperformed. XOMO outperformed slightly. Goop outperformed. MSFY outperformed. Nice job. And I also took an average of all of them. So the average benchmark was down 81 basis points, where the average high yield fund was down 60 basis points. So what is that? That's 21 on, that's either 33 or 25% difference. I just did it in my head real quick. But anyway, that's a pretty good, that's a pretty nice buffer there. The high yield assets performed 1/3 better, between 1/4 to 1/3 better. All right. So we've already looked at the JEPI single day. So let's do this here. Let's look at some 30 days, some longer term tracking error. See who's tracking their underlying the best. And over the past 30 days, SPX has been up 4.49%. iSpy 3.11%. Nice job, iSpy. GPIX, the Goldman Fund that I just started covering. Nice job. 3% a month. I mean, 3% a month. I mean, yeah, we'd take that every month, wouldn't we? 36% a year. Of course, that's about what some of these are going to average. Some of the, I mean, you know, if the market keeps going up, but for instance, JEPQ, I think they got 36 points last year total return. It's pretty darn good. XYLD, not as relatively strong. Of course, the darn at the money options, at the money monthlies kill them. BALI, nice job, guys. Got more than half the the parent asset. JUPI was kind of behind, but then in last place is old JUPY for some reason. I don't like the looks of that. All right, so here is the single stocks, and here is the 30-day change on the single stocks. So let's see here, 83 to 579. I'm going to check this real quick. 83 to 579, yeah, okay. So that is right. So Tesla was down more than the parent over 30 days. I don't like the looks of that. NVIDIA looks great, though. They got about, a third of the parent's upside. Coney looks awesome. Look at that. Holy cow, up 16%. Jiminy criminy. That is a hell of a month. I don't watch these individual ones too much. Man. Yeah, I remember when they came crashing down from 30 and people bailed out. I wonder if anyone bought in at 18, 19. I'm sure some people did. A lot of other people probably bought in at 24 and sold again at 20 and got frustrated. I mean, it dropped like crazy. That's been a nice recovery. Got a 50% recovery from top to bottom. All right, well, let's see what else we got over here. AMZY looks really good. Old Mike, Tactical Stock Scalper, big AMZY fan. Look at OARC outperforming ARC. That's really good. 5.4%, and ARC is down according to these numbers. I went through the numbers today and checked them. I'm pretty sure they're good. AMZY looks great. It's got about 80% of the upside. That's what you want. AMDY, not so great. Aptly, not so great. TSLP underperforming a little bit, just exactly like TSLY. TSLP was down 878. TSLY was down 830. Boy, they both underperformed Tesla, though. All right. MSFO, I call that in line. PP underperformed also, performing like PP. All right, look, Meta had a hell of a month. I didn't realize. I guess I did because of that big earnings number, up 20% on the month. FBY only up 6. I mean, only being up 6 is a good problem to have, though, right? I mean, I never look at these individual charts much. Let's check out FBY. Well, that's what you call a channel, a up channel. It's been doing the opposite. I guess that earnings report just knocked it into the stratosphere. Look, it went up $2 in one day, but then it was back down. It's only up 50 cents 2 days later. There's no free lunch or whatever. There's no easy money, but this one has been hot. Let's check out AMZ. Yeah, that's a good looking one. No wonder Mike likes it so much. Yeah, that's a good looking yield stock there. I'm kind of starting to warm up a little bit to these yield max. I'm making a video about it. I'm not totally warming up. They still have their drawbacks, but I'm starting to see more utility in the yield max. I'm working on that video right now. I've been working on it all day. I'm looking forward to showing it to you guys. Maybe it'll be up tomorrow. All right, well, let's see what else we got as far as tracking there goes. DSIO, I mean, that's great. I mean, parent up 17, DSIO up 8. We take that every month. Up 8% every month. Be up, that was that 100% a year or something like that. 12 times 8, 96 or something. Yeah, that'd be a nice year. Just got to keep that up every month, DISO. Let's go. Oh, and that'd be great. InFly, nice month. Sky, I would say in line. Huey's a big underperformer. XOMO is in line, performing well actually. Goop is just kind of in line. MSFY, I mean, there's really not much to see there. Microsoft is up 2.52. MSFY is up 2.45. That right there is in the golden zone where if assets would always go up like that, about 2% a month, then the yield fund would get, 90% of the underlying and just rock and roll. But if they get behind whenever assets do what, Facebook does or, what Meta did after earnings, they take off and leave the yield fund, and that contributes to the tracking error. And that's why we track this tracking error. You got to track the tracking error, right? All right, so let's look at a little 5-day tracking error here. We got us some TSLY. I mean, underperforming on the 30-day time frame, underperforming on the 5-day time frame. NVIDIA outperforming on the 5-day time frame. Nice job, NVIDIA. Coney had a great 5 days, of course. I mean, of course. OARC looks fine. AMZ, it's just 5 days. A lot of these are just 5 days. They're pretty much in line with what you'd expect. AMD, a little outperformance. TSLP is in line, but it's not sucking like TSLY. I wonder if I have a bad number in there on TSLY. Maybe I need to check that a little harder. I just don't believe TSLY is doing that poorly. Maybe the NAV's trading at a discount or something, and I don't know. All right, MSFO, I'd say that's in line. PP is actually outperforming on the 5-day. Looked really bad on the 30-day. Looked like PP on the 30-day. It was down nearly 10%, where the underlying was just down 5%. But it hasn't happened to the past 5 days, because in the past 5 days, PP's actually up and PayPal's down 1.6. Facebook is perfectly in line. DSIO was outperforming. Nice job, DSIO. Infly is in line. Sky's in line. GUI's in line. XOMO outperforming. Goop is in line, and MSFY is in line. Tony's the big story on the 5-day chart. 8% in 5 days. Just keep that pace up. What does that equal? 32% a month. Yeah, 32% in 5 days. So the 12 times 32 is 360% a year, or actually more, just 384% a year or something. Yeah, keep this pace up, Tony. We won't have to worry about NAV erosion anymore. All right, so I think that's all for the tracking error for this evening. All right, guys, you have a wonderful evening. I'm going to get back to work on that other video. I'll talk to you soon.